This is my 2010 Buick Lacrosse. A couple days ago I was driving, my engine suddenly got overheated and I pulled over and I saw like a splash there, and later I found out that it was the coolant bypass hose. That connector there broke, so I lost all my coolant suddenly and had my car towed home. I found this part online right here for about $44. This one was replaced before by someone, and this one is the original GM part, so I'm gonna replace this one. Replace the old one with this new one. Let's see how it goes. The hard part is the holes, that the part that broke, the connector, is located underneath this power steering fluid tank. So what I'm gonna do is to remove the bolts here. Hopefully I have enough space to plug this new one on that little connector there. So let's see. Now I have a 10mm socket. Okay, so you gotta remove this thing from here gently, because you don't want to break anything here along this line. Also, you need to unclick here. It's hard to see, but it's there. So I use this to unclick that part. So now we can remove this little tank. You don't have to completely remove, I believe, as long as you got enough space there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's where the leaf is covering. That's where the broken holes is. So I'm going to pull that part out. Now you can see better. That's the broken connector. It is not easy to take this off. See, this is what I did. I'm gonna try to take this part off. Okay. What I'm going to do is use this big pry bar. This big pry bar to push that part off. There. It's off now. This is what the broken one looks like. Now I'm going to install this new one. Now, before we install a new one, I want to point out one thing that is very, very important. If you don't do this, you might end up redoing it. It's gonna be a big headache. This thing, this head, you want to make sure that it goes to the right. You have to go like here. You can't go like there. You can't do that. If you do that, when you put this tank back on, it's gonna be right on top of it. So you have to be very careful. So you want to do this. This head will go underneath first, and then we'll go above this pipe. Okay. Now you should be able to just push this thing in. I have to do with 2 hands. I'll show you what I did. You gotta make sure you push it all the way down and make sure it's locked up. This step is not as easy if you don't remove this tank up here. If you have thicker hands, you might have to remove the power steering fluid tank to have more space to access to this part. But if you have thinner hands, you might be able to do it, but it's pretty hard, just so you know. The next part should be relatively easier. You just need to connect this holes, this holes with the new one there. See, I already removed the clamp, so I just need to unplug the old one from this one and then plug it in there. After you're done with this, and you're gonna have to bleed the air out of the system, or you might ruin your engine, just so you know. Okay, after you're done with connecting these 2 hoses here, after you add coolant in the tank, what you're gonna do is you see the main hose down there. You're gonna just squish it, and you're gonna hear bubbles, and you will notice that the coolant level in the reservoir is going down. And you're gonna do this multiple times. And you're gonna fill up the reservoir to the max line. What you need to do next is to find the bleeder screw so you can bleed the air out. The bleeder screw is located over here. That yellow one, that yellow-ish, actually it's white. That screw is the air bleeder screw, so you want to take that one out. So when you loosen this one, you can see coolant coming out of it. That means your air there is pretty much forced out. So because coolant is toxic, I don't want to get it all over my car, so I'm just gonna tighten up. And I know the air there is pretty much all gone. There still might be a little bit, but after you start your engine and rev it to like around maybe 2,500 to 3,000 RPM, or drive it around, air should be all gone.